Yes, lads, and welcome back to the Jebbo 37 YouTube channel. Where today, guys, I'm going to be bringing you through my Vanarama National League table predictions for this season. Now, before we get into the video, guys, do make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, tap the bell for notifications, and leave a thumbs up on the video. Absolutely appreciated. And yes, guys, it's much as really got to say. If you want to check out the last video as well, which is a career mode rebuild on Tranmere Rovers, please do go and check that out. And for now, guys, I'm going to bring you from the 23rd position to the top of my National League predictions. So in 23rd place this season, finishing rock bottom, we've got Wealdstone. The fella who says you want some, they'll give it you. Well, the National League will be giving it to you this season, mate, when, as predicted, you'll be finishing rock bottom this season. Unfortunately, your team's not got the depth, and especially with the 12th man being in the ground, with the fans obviously being back as the 12th man, I've got Wealdstone to finish rock bottom this season. Second bottom this season, I've got Weymouth. Now, on paper, I don't really know much / anything at all about them in terms of like what they are as a team or anything like that. But looking on paper, they've lost a lot of players in comparison to who they've brought in. And to be honest, the quality of the team does not look exactly brilliant, especially going forward into the 2021-22 season. Now, for me, it's enough to say that it does give a realistic prediction on Weymouth to also be relegated, finishing 22nd this season. So for 21st, also getting relegated, I have predicted it will be Barnet. Now, last season, Barnet in the National League conceded 88 goals in the league last season. And to be honest, that is absolutely abysmal. So for me, unless they can, how can I put it, improve on their defensive capabilities, for me, Barnet will be going down this season. So apologies to the Barnet fans for that one. So we're going to put the next two teams on the screen now, finishing 20th and 19th in the league, as I predicted. Now, Dover Athletic finishing 20th this season may be a controversial one, as they are on minus 12 points this season. But they have just re-signed back Ricky Miller, and if anyone knows Ricky Miller, back in the days of Dover Athletic, he did score 41 goals in the league that season. Now, even though they have a minus 12 point gap, they still have a superior team on paper, especially signing a lot of players. So if they can manage to keep the structure and stuff like that, they'll probably do the impossible and finish just outside the relegation spots this season. Now, moving on into 19th, I've got Altrincham. Now, they've had little activity in the window, and obviously the likes of Johan Zuma going back on from his loan deal and now becoming a free agent, and other people like that does really affect them, and little to next to none activity in the window in comparison to the people who have left. So for me, that just shows that Altrincham will finish probably low down the table this season. So now, guys, we're going to get the next three teams. So we're going to 18th, 17th and 16th. So we'll start off with 18th in Woking. And to be honest, guys, it's just all on paper for these three teams. As looking, they've lost a lot of players and the quality just isn't there in the way. But they are better than obviously the teams down below in comparison of the quality of the teams. So for me, I've got Woking in 18th, Kings Lynn in 17th, and Maidenhead United in 16th this season. So, as I said, I don't really know much about the National League, but going off research on what I've looked at in terms of the quality of the teams and who they've brought in, who they've let go and stuff like that, especially the fans being back in the ground, I can see them teams finishing in that position. Now, the 15th place team, it was kind of a really big toss-up between 15th and 14th to where this team was going to finish. But in 15th place, I have gone for Aldershot Town. Now, to be honest, they've lost out a big player in Ricky Miller to Dover. If he's kept on form, he can be a hell of a player. And unfortunately for Aldershot Town, they've lost out on him to Dover Athletic. Now, they've been very quiet on who they've brought in, and obviously they've let a lot of people go as well. So for me, we'll see a dip in Aldershot Town unless they can bring in a load more players with quality before the season starts. So for me, 15th for Aldershot does sound about right. So for 14th place, I have gone for Yeovil Town. Now, to be honest, Yeovil have been quite active in the window, working on the defence with the defensive signings they have made, as well as goalkeeper Grant Smith from Chesterfield. Now, at the moment, they're looking like they're lacking in goals, with the only source coming from Joe Quigley, who scored 12 goals in the last campaign. So for me, it's 14th for Yeovil Town. So for 13th this season, I have gone for Solihull Moors. Now, To be honest, Solihull Moors have lost out on a lot of players, and one of them being experienced defender in Nathan Cameron. Now, the only thing that I can think of at this moment that can pick them up is if striker Adam Rooney can find his form that he had for Salford City in the 18-19 season. Now, for me, 13th does sound right for Solihull Moors. Now, in 12th place, we're moving closer on now to the playoff stages. We've got Eastleigh, and to be honest, I could have put them 11th, but I've put them in 12th. Now, to be honest, they don't have much firepower going on this season in terms of who they've got as the strikers looking forward to scoring the goals. Now, to be honest, if Eastleigh do go out and sign a proven striker that can score them goals, they'll be much more dangerous going forward this season. But as it stands, I've got Eastleigh in 12th place. Now, in 11th place, I have got FC Halifax Town. Now, to be honest, this one was quite a close one in terms of them and Eastleigh to put in 11th and 12th. But I've decided to go for 11th for Halifax. Now, to be honest, signing Harvey Gilmore on a free transfer from Stockport County could be proven a vital decision for Halifax moving forward if he can get going in his game time. Obviously, Tranmere Rovers fans have seen what he's like there and stuff like that, so especially in that promotion to League One in the playoffs, especially the way Harvey Gilmore played in duration to the season. Now, the only thing that I have issues with Halifax Town is the lack of business they've done so far. So, to be honest, 11th for Halifax does seem right for me. And now for 10th place, I have gone for Dagenham and Redbridge. Now, to be honest, it was hard to decide the 10th place for this season because obviously it's around your mid-tier range and stuff like that. But for me, it's got to be Dagenham and Redbridge. Now, I think even though they've lost a few players, if they can manage to keep the three strikers in Paul McCallum, Scott Wilson, and Angelo Bellanta on form, they've got some firepower going forward this season. So, for me, if they are on form, they could even be pushing towards the playoffs and prove a lot of people wrong going forward this season. So, for me, Dagenham and Redbridge is in 10th place. So for 9th place this season, edging even more closer now to the playoffs, I've got Boreham Wood. Now, even though they've got the firepower of former Macclesfield Town and Stevenage man in Tyrone Marsh and former MK Dons player in Kabonga Shamanga, I am optimistic they will bring in another striker this season to push them to even greater heights. Although they have lost a few players such as Danny Woodard and Matt Red, they've brought in a few players also, so for me, Boreham Wood and 9th this season does sound very, very realistic. Now, whether they can prove me wrong or not, I don't know, but for me, Boreham Wood, 9th place. Now, for 8th place, and unfortunately just missing out on the playoffs, I have got Bromley. Another team who has brought in a lot of players, but also lost a few players too. The main question arises for Bromley. Can they keep hold of Michael Cheek, who scored 23 league goals last season? I have Bromley unfortunately missing out on the playoffs, even if they do keep hold of him and finishing 8th this season. And now the team I have got in 7th place, making the first playoff position, is Torquay United. Now, talking about them, it's just like, even though they lost out on promotion to League Two on penalties against Hartlepool United, they've brought in a few players, but they've also lost a few as well. Now, I just don't think, genuinely with the fans being back and all that good stuff, that they'll reach as great a heights as they have done last season. But I'm not going to be too harsh on them. I've got them in 7th place for promotion. Well, not promotion, but in the playoffs this season. Now, for 6th place, taking that second playoff position, I've got for Chesterfield. Now, if he's kept on form, Danny Rowe can be up there to take the top goal scorer award for this season. Now, I don't really have much to say about the Chesterfield team, but I know they've got a very, very good team, and I know that they're also up there as well. So, for me, I've got Chesterfield in 6th once again. Now, in 5th place, this is the first of the two teams that got relegated from League Two last season. It is Grimsby Town. Now, Paul Hurst is the manager of Grimsby Town, and if anyone has watched Grimsby or supports Grimsby, they know what Paul Hurst can do to be able to take them back up to the League Two. Now, the problem is, it's just like, how can they manage to do it through relegation? Will it take 1 year, 2 years 3 years, even 4 years to get promotion back to League Two. Who knows now? They've just signed they've just re-signed the Wrexham captain in Sean Pearson. Now, Sean Pearson was a part of that squad that got Grimsby Town promotion against Forest Green Rovers back in that promotion final win in 2016. So for me, 5th sounds right, back into that first season in National League for Grimsby Town. Now this one for 4th place is a tough one. So the last 4 are a very, very tough decision in making. But for 4th place, I have gone for Wrexham. Now Wrexham, although they lost club captain and Sean Pearson to Grimsby Town, they have also signed League Two's top goal scorer last season in Paul Mullen, and he was on a free agent from Cambridge United. So they finished 8th last season and just lost out on the playoffs. But however, this season I have got them in the playoffs at 4th place. So to show how close I was to put in this team in 4th place and Wrexham into 3rd, it was kind of a mad one to decide on, but obviously through the ins and outs and stuff like that. In 3rd place, I have gone for Stockport County. Now, if any Tranmere fan knows these players in Connor Jennings, Lewis Maynard and Liam Hogan, also Salford fans as well know Liam Hogan and Lewis Maynard, they could tell you how experienced they are as players getting promotion and stuff like that. Now, they've also got Connor's brother in James Jennings. Now, they have, boosted the squad in terms of the way they signed. That was last season or the season before, I believe. Maybe they've been there a few years, I'm not too sure, but obviously boosting the club up in there in terms of getting them back to promotion to League Two. Now, they've also boosted the squad in signing striker Scott Quigley from League Two Barrow, and it looks like a tough one for them this season. So, although they've signed Scott Quigley, if they could probably find like another 1 or 2 players to boost the squad, they probably could get promotion. They are up there for promotion this season. So this season, I have Stockport County in 3rd place. So guys, we may as well talk about the last 2 teams. But for now, I'm going to start off with who I've got in 2nd place. Now for 2nd place, I've got none other than Notts County. They've made a few good signings this season, including Kyle Bennett from Bristol Rovers. They should improve from last season's finish of 5th place, obviously making that playoff position. And also being a big club does go in their favour as well in terms of key signings, if they do have the money to be able to make them signings also. So yeah, providing all that, I have got Notts County in 2nd place. Now we're going to talk about the league winners. I have got in my predictions being Southend United. Yes, fair enough, they got relegated last season from League Two, but I have got them to bounce straight back up. In terms of, they've made a statement in the players that they've signed, and also having former Hull City man Phil Brown being the boss of Southend United, it does make a big, big statement in terms of the league, and whether he can get promotion, I do think so. I think that they will go back up as league champions now. A positive start to the campaign for Southend will back this prediction up in terms of, I reckon that they will win the league this season. So for me, Southend are in 1st place. So guys, before we do wrap up this video, there's one thing I have forgotten to talk about, and it is the playoff winners for this season and who I think will go up with Southend United. And for me, it's Wrexham. Now, Wrexham are the team that they've been around the playoff spots for ages. I just do think it's their year to go up. I think also having the firepower in Paul Mullen will be able to send them up as well. If he's trained right, kept right, and injury free for the season, I just reckon he can do wonders for Wrexham. So yeah, for me, it's Southend and Wrexham going up this season. So guys, I'm going to wrap up the video there. If there's anything that you feel that it could be done differently about this video or anything like that, please do let me know, and your predictions for this season as well in terms of the clubs you do support in this league. The next table predictions that will be out is League 2, and we are going to be making our way up to the Premier League this season in terms of predictions. So yes guys, please do leave a thumbs up and tap that bell for notifications on every single video that I do post. It absolutely mean a lot. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah guys, it's one table prediction done, and yes, I will see you guys on another video. Peace out.